Yo, good afternoon, everybody. Take a quick look here at today's price action. Once again, if we look, we're just continuing to deliver to the buy side. So no surprise there, right? We've been following this trend higher. We consolidated it last week a little bit, but we're still just looking for higher prices. This level here is a daily objective that we ended up hitting today. You'll see how we kind of price into that on these lower time frames. I want to point out quickly, once we get above this 4 hour, so notice how we hit it a few times, once, twice, get back underneath. If we were to close above this 4 hour, we would now expect that to act as an inversion level. This is a bearish 4 hour fair value gap here. So if we're going to get above that, we would expect that acts as now an inversion level to offer us support as we come back into it. That's what we see here on Monday. Trade higher. And now Tuesday, we've just continued that expansion. Here's another 1 hour fair value gap. So as we deliver into this objective, notice we fall short, leave a quick discount, and then that gets traded into before actually hitting the objective. So on a 15-minute now here, we'll show this, Tuesday's price action. We were looking at this bearish fair value gap. We wanted to see how price reacted within here, right? This is a premium. This price trades back into this 4 hour. If we're expecting this to act as support, right, this 4 hour fair value gap, we don't want to see this premium give way. So in London, we hesitate a little bit. Ultimately, we get up and above that level. You'll see we come back down and use it as support during that rollover period, and then we move away from it, attacking that high, and ultimately continuing to deliver into higher objectives. Real quick on the 5 minutes, still the same thing, right? So we have that 1 hour fair value gap here. We had our breaker in here that we had labeled for the morning, so that's what we're trading into. You'll see that on the lower time frame. Also have a 5 minute fair value gap in here that we took advantage of. So you'll see how we're just respecting these discounts. So we engineer this buy side liquidity prior to that 9:30 dip. So now as we're trading lower heading into 9:30, we'd want to see if at 9:30 we couldn't attack that buy side. Here we are on our 1 minute now. So still got all the same levels. All right, we're looking at this as low, high, lower, low getting broken. So we have our down close candles OB, our up close candles become our breaker. So either way, this is our original framework that we're coming into now at 9:30. Right, we're going to move this and this. So we see here now at 9:30, we're trading lower. We've hit that breaker block, right? We've hit our discount. We want to see if we want to run these lows or continue to accelerate higher. At 9:30, instead of clearing these lows, we instead hold consequent encroachment perfect. We wick into this untapped volume imbalance, creating a wick, and then we push up and through that wick. Once we get above that wick, we now understand that price has no interest in returning into this low, especially because NQ ran that low. So SMT there. This wick now becomes a gap, right? We see that as balanced. So as we break through that wick with this up close candle, this displacement, especially because that is paired with this volume imbalance, we would expect an area like this to now offer us support. As we mentioned earlier, remember, look at how this wick, consequent encroachment, is the volume imbalance. Same with the breaker as well. Right, so these up close candles here are a breaker, consequent encroachment, same exact level, just a very strong area of support. And that's why, right, we took our first entry there this morning. So now as we trade back into that level, we're going long inside the volume imbalance. That's also consequent encroachment of both of these other discounts. So overlapping PD arrays. We now expand, closing above the high, closing above previous day high, coming real quick back into now just an inversion volume imbalance and then a 1 minute fair value gap. So if I move the breaker after coming off of this wick, notice there's a 1 minute fair value gap here as well. And now that's what the candle bodies hold. So we hold there and we deliver into our buy side objective. That was our short-term objective, just this buy side here. After clearing that buy side, notice how we leave behind now a 1 minute fair value gap. Once again, volume imbalance inversion here is aligned with that 1 minute fair value gap. We wanted to see if this wouldn't offer us support to continue to deliver higher. So as price trades back into this 1 minute, hitting perfectly previous day high, but the candle body's holding the volume imbalance. And then we close back above the 1 minute fair value gap. So we're closing above this fair value gap here on this candle. Once we do that, this fair value gap becomes balanced, we understand this will offer us support as we deliver higher. So now we just go long as we're digging back up into this 830. So this is the 830 level as well. As price trades down into that, we're going long, trading into that, trading into the fair value gap as well. So a lot of discounts. We've already confirmed that this fair value gap will hold us. And then ultimately, we deliver higher before we get out here at this swing high. So for us, this was just a 5-handle run. And that was really all that we were looking for this morning. 2 quick 5-handle runs, right? Catching the swing low up into the high, confirming that low, taking the low back up into the high. We do get a retracement, creating equal lows here before bouncing, and now just continuing to deliver higher, right? If we kind of look at what took place, and we'll share the other entries we took here in the afternoon, you'll see how we fell short of our objective. So we fell short of that higher time frame buy side. But this is buy side that became targeted later in the afternoon for us. But following the morning's price action, right, you'll see how we exit here. We trade back into that new day opening or the previous day high. We did share that we had this inversion set up, right? And we shared this trade as well. So as we find support here again, and we start breaking through this premium, this bearish fair value gap, notice how we're closing back above it here with this candle, also closing above a 5-minute fair value gap. So we went ahead and went long as soon as this candle wicked into the 1-minute fair value gap within that. So now we've overlapped once again a lot of discounts. Price wicks into that, we go long. And for this, we were targeting, right, as we saw, there was levels here with the 4-hour wick. We won't bring them up now. If you want to watch the live stream, you'll see. But we were targeting higher levels. We ended up partialing out here at this high, and then again here at this high as we ran out the short-term high before being stopped in profit on this run lower. All right, securing most of the profits, being stopped in profit. So a nice trade here, running from this discount fair value gap up into this swing high. Once we get into these swing highs, kind of just play around a little bit. You'll notice how we start venturing towards that daily objective. We fall short, however, and quickly put in a little breaker setup. So if we look at this high to low, we'll go high to a low, higher high that gets broken. We close below it. We're looking at this down close candle here is our breaker. You notice price trades up into that high perfectly, holds the breaker, and now leaves it, leaving behind a 1-minute fair value gap. So we went short inside of that, right at consequent encroachment, like this. For us, we were trying to get into the, we were trying to get into these equal lows here, like this. So we had sell side resting here. These were our equal low objective. I'm gonna move this for now. And you'll see that we get real close to it. We actually hit it perfectly, but we don't get tapped out with our spread. So we end up being stopped out at break even as price returns all the way back up into our entry. So here, just a break even trade. The logic makes sense, right? We understand what we're seeing. Breaker block, just a short-term retracement. We still wanted to see this high get taken, which is why we go long later in the afternoon. But in the short term, wanted to see if we couldn't attack these lows since it was the lunch hour and we wanted to attack opposing liquidity. Instead, we fall, not even one tick short. We hit it perfectly. So 2 clean, stopped in, or at break even. We continue to just consolidate back and forth now. Notice how we still never clear these lows. So as I see that, I understand that we don't really want to clear these lows. So as we head into power hour now, we have formed a new setup. Short-term low being cleared. Right, we're heading into the afternoon. We clear that sell side. We then break structure at the high, leaving behind a 1-minute fair value gap. And for me, I just went long right on consequent encroachment there. So again, using consequent encroachment, just like the previous entry, it's aligned with that order block. And we were still just trying to target that buy side liquidity here and ultimately that daily objective. Once again, you see, once we moved above and actually closed above this high, so we close above this high here with this candle, I actually went and moved my stop to break even. So once again, moving to break even, we get stopped out here during power hour, right? That run lower stops us out. Fine with us. Slight consolidation before delivering into our objective. As we often say, we're not worried about a missed move. We profited in the morning, missed the afternoon move, that's fine. We just like to see our objectives continue to be delivered into. Clean delivery in here, if we did see that. So after clearing out sell side here, we still hold this OB. Notice that, never breaking this low. We then create a discount as we're leaving. We trade into that discount once again, breaking above that with a new discount in the form of that 1 minute fair value gap. We trade back into that fair value gap before breaking higher using inversion levels. Inversion paired with bullish, so BPR here. So still a lot of opportunities to enter. Notice how the consequent encroachment, same exact level. Get above it, return into it, hold perfectly, deliver it into that buy side. And then notice how we consolidate right around it. And price right now is sitting really right at that level. So we're sitting right at that high. So overall, clean delivery. Missed out on 2 afternoon setups. Just by 1 tick. Right, so both in profit, but stopped at break even, that's fine. We were able to take advantage of the nice morning pump up here. Going forward, still just look for higher prices. So I'll hide these for now. Right, if we go to a daily chart, just want to see price continue to reach for daily highs. So now we have a daily high here and here. We'll kind of throw these as our next objectives. So yeah, 15-minute stance, right? If we can get up into that, obviously we need to continue to expand. But yeah, we want to just see price continue to run higher. Quickly, I'll clear all this out. Wouldn't want to see much slower than this kind of down close candle. Let's see on an hourly sense. No inefficiencies. We've held the 1 hour. We may want to revisit that, but wouldn't even want to see that really. Yeah, so for me, honestly, I would like to see this swing low here be held. So the last swing low that returns into the 1 hour fair value gap, this low. Wouldn't want to see that broken. So we just look for continued delivery higher. We'll have to see what tomorrow gives us though before we can kind of really get into it. As of now, not many inefficiencies. So we'll let price action play out and we'll see what we can get tomorrow morning. Hopefully you guys found this recap helpful today. Tomorrow we'll be back at 9:55 Eastern, just before high impact news at 10 o'clock. So until then, have a good night, everybody, and we will talk in the morning.